Welcome back to part 1 of the SOS guide. We'll be using a similar team as the last SOS, save for a few changes. Firstly, I've replaced Dionysus with Norn for a bit more defense down, as this opens up the option to use Dionysus in the second part, which may prove to be more useful than the first. Secondly, I've replaced Wind with Futaba. Although only a small change was made to the overall rotation, scores have seen a significant improvement of almost 2 million points. I'll be showcasing two runs, first one with the new rotation and the second one utilizing the previous rotation. But before we get into the run, let's go over Wonder's weapon choice and persona. For Wonder, we'll be using the Ex Machina dagger to boost physical damage. As my skull's pierce rate is quite high at 20%, running the Ex Machina is a damage increase for me. However, if your skull's pierce rate is low and not as high, the eye might be a better option. Chernobog will be used as the main persona to provide the bonus damage. Chernobog's role is simple. We'll be using Verdict of Agony, as well as his highlight to remove Titania stack to prevent the damage reduction buff. Not only that, his passive also reduces the defense of the enemy. Teaching him Rakunda allows us to use Rakunda on Skull's God Hand turn to preserve the harmony damage buff. Moving on to Norn, the only skill we'll be using is Garudyne to inflict Windswept. To make sure Windswept lands, it is a good idea to change Wonder's schema to boost ailment accuracy. Additionally, teaching up passives that boost ailment accuracy can work as well. We're looking to take advantage of Norn's passive or the high defense down debuff it can provide. Lastly, Janosik. We'll be using him for the marked and Rakunda combo, as well as using Tatra shot at the end to inflict marked for the huge damage turn with Futaba's skill tree. I believe the characters do not need much introduction, and I'll move on to the run. As usual, I show my character's stats at the end. Now, let's get on to the run. For the first turn, we'll use Garudyne on Norn to inflict Windswept. Reset the run if Windswept does not land. Next, use Leon's skill tree on Skull to bring his HP down low enough for him to gain rebound. Using skill tree when he's in rebound guarantees a critical hit. Here we will save the highlight for the next turn for Chord, allowing Skull to get the damage buff. We use Futaba's skill 1 here, first followed by Chord's highlight. Next we'll use Rakunda on Janosik for a huge damage turn. Leon will alternate between skill 2 and 3 for the rest of the fight. Chord skill 3 on Skull to boost his God and damage. Watch the big numbers fly. Ideally, you use Futaba's skill tree here. However, if we use it, Virus buff will be wasted. Skull will not be attacking this turn. Instead, we'll use skill 2, allowing us to align skill 3 for the final big damage turn. Pop Chernobog's highlight for debuffs as well as removing the stack. Use Garudyne and make sure Windswept lands, restart if it doesn't. Chord will normal attack here to remove the final stack. Here we'll use skill 1. Skill 1 lasts 3 turns, we'll still get a debuff on our very last turn. Using Rakunda with Chernobog here instead of Janosik preserves the harmony damage boost. Make sure to pop Skull's highlight here to boost his God Hand damage. We'll use skill 2 here, followed by skill 3 on the last turn. This will allow us to enjoy all the buffs and debuffs provided by Futaba's 3 skills. His Verdict of Agony to remove 1 stack, and Chord's normal attack to remove the other. Finally, we use skill 3. This will be a huge damage turn with all the buffs and debuffs. Finish off with a Tatra shot to inflict Mocked again, and voila! Watch the big damage numbers fly. So this will be the second run. I will not be doing any commentary for this one, as it was just meant to be a showcase, show the difference between the 2 different rotations and how slight change can cause a huge disparity in scores. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the run. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.